The episode starts off in Light's high school English class, where Light translates a sentence into Japanese. After school, someone asks if Light wants to hang out, but he claims he is busy. At home, Light begins entering more criminals' names into the death note as the news broadcasts their names and faces. He tells Ryuk he has to work hard because the time he gets to write in the notebook is limited due to his studies and concern for his health. Light's sister, Sayu, knocks on his door to get help with her homework. Light immediately stashes the notebook in his drawer and lets his sister in. Ryuk warns Light that if she were to touch the death note, she would be able to see him. Light curses the fact that Ryuk waited until now to reveal such an important rule to him, but keeps a calm face as he helps his younger sister with her math homework. Meanwhile, the International Criminal Police Organization begins its meeting, addressing the 52 known cases of criminals dying of heart attacks. One member questions why this is even a problem, since all the people who died were sentenced either to life in prison or death row, but another member stresses that even though such is the case, some unknown entity is killing criminals through some form of mass murder. The bickering escalates until the apparent head of the meeting silences everyone, saying that Interpol has no choice but to bring in L again. The statement causes the entire room to begin whispering again. One man questions his chief about what the man means by L. The chief tells the young man that L is the name taken on by a mysterious person whose real name and identity are unknown. L has been able to solve every case given to him by the ICPO, who view him as their trump card. The room's silence is broken by a member who questions how they will even be able to contact L in the first place, especially since he is known to only take on cases that interest him. This question is immediately answered by a tall man in a trench coat, whose face is hidden by his hat. The man, who the chief briefly explains is Watari, the ICPO's only contact to L, states that L has already been investigating the case. He opens a laptop to display an enormous letter L. A voice-scrambled voice begins speaking from the laptop, introducing himself as L. L informs Interpol that he will need the cooperation of every organization being represented in the ICPO, especially the Japanese task force, since he has suspicions that the mass murderer resides in Japan. Meanwhile, Light has devised a trap to prevent anyone from ever touching the notebook. He opens a drawer in his desk to reveal an ordinary diary, which would interest anyone snooping around enough to stop there. Underneath the diary, however, is a false bottom hiding the death note that, if pried open incorrectly, will set fire to the notebook and Light's desk. Light calmly tells Ryuk that he would much prefer risking a house fire over the notebook's discovery and a death sentence. As more criminals die of heart attacks, the public dubs the entity behind it all as Kira. While news reports ignore the fact that Kira has emerged from the killings, the appearance of many fan websites is enough proof to know that most people, especially in online anonymity, are welcoming Kira with open arms. A special broadcast airing worldwide from the ICPO interrupts the television program. A man in a suit introduces himself as Lind L. Taylor, alias L. The Japanese task force watch the live broadcast in surprise that L is revealing his face for the first time. Taylor berates Kira for his crimes and claims he will face justice. Only when he states that what Kira is doing is evil does Light react angrily, writing Taylor's name in the notebook. 40 seconds later, Taylor collapses and is dragged off camera, and the screen switches to L's insignia. L's voice-scrambled voice sounds awestruck by the proof that Kira has the ability to kill without having to be there in person. Light curses L for being one step ahead of him as L taunts and challenges him. In turn for the proof of his abilities, L reveals to Kira that the worldwide airing was only being aired in the Kanto region of Japan and he has narrowed down Kira's location and identified Kira's first victim. The police are amazed and motivated by the turn of events. Light collects himself and he and Elle swear to hunt each other down, as they both believe themselves to be justice. Thanks for watching and do consider subscribing.